Hello again, it's Cyn. Welcome everyone, and to those who are new and have not yet met me, let me introduce myself. My name is Cynn. I am a fashion designer turned mystic. My mission is to empower you to step into your truth. Today's topic is about self-love, and I will be channeling messages from my spirit guides to you, as well as having conversations back and forth between the three of us, or more. Happy Chinese New Year's to everyone who celebrates out there. 恭喜發財. May fortune and abundance and prosperity and great health be bestowed upon you this year. And to those who are watching and do celebrate, Happy Valentine's Day, or in my case, I like to call it Happy Self-Love Day. How today's video is going to go is that I will be channeling messages with the use of oracle cards and tarot to generate a message that my spirit guides as well as yours want to relay about self-love, so we can cultivate stronger boundaries, a better relationship with ourselves first and foremost. And then I will go towards proceeding the end of the video with a pick a card reading for those of you who want to stick around and choose your pile for a more specified, catered insight as to how you can have self-love or cultivate better self-love in your life. I actually didn't do my hair today. I felt like the natural waves in my hair adds to the whole goddess vibes that we have going on here. Oh, before I forget, I have my website officially launched. You're probably going to see this video after you see my explanation video, but nevertheless, you can find my website at the bottom in the description box down below, and you can find all the information that pertains about tarot reading, spirituality in the FAQs. And if you want to book a reading and you like my vibe, don't forget to subscribe. You can also book a reading with me on that website as well. All right, so let's continue. I'll see you in a second. I'm lighting some incense. See in the background for my ancestors. And I'm going to light a candle for us. A yellow candle for happiness, joy, inner peace, and finding the truth about who we are so we can live the best life we possibly can within our power. Ooh, look how bright it is. It's getting lit up in here. Okay, before I proceed, I'm going to clear the air a little bit with my Palo Santo. Let me sage you. Clean your energy too, huh? Clean my energy. The energy. Invite my spirit guides, universe, ancestors, deities, triple goddess, Emperor Wizitian, Kalima, Ishtar. And we are going to have a conversation with y'all about self-love. So the reason why this conversation or this video came to be is because, aside from pick a card readings, which I absolutely adore and love, it's very crucial to open a dialogue to talk further in depth about the nitty-gritties, the meat. Okay, for those of you who are vegans, I don't know, I'm stuck at this analogy. Point is, it's very foundational to talk about topics such as these, especially myself personally growing up. I don't believe I've ever really truly had a good grasp of what self-love meant, and there were not a whole lot of resources out there that really explored and went into detail about it. And the schools I went to, which were public schools, mind you, never really dove into it much, you know. So aside from pick a cards, which are really fun and educational, I think it's really important that we also take the time to reflect and analyze what spirit is saying to us, what our spirit guides are saying to us, and not just be like, oh yeah, I chose pile 2 and it told me to do this, okay, so I want to see the next pile. No, the whole point is we make piles, or at least I make piles for you to select that by chance there is a message that's more specifically catered to you, so you can apply these lessons and help yourself. That's the whole reason why I'm providing free tarot readings, is because I want to uplift the energy of humanity and cause and bring more self-awareness. I want to be I am the catalyst of that. This is my purpose. But aside from the pick a card readings, we can't forget the heart of the whole reason why we're doing all of this, at least why I'm all doing this, okay? There's many of me, higher self, lower self, middle self. I can't forget the reason, and the reason is the lesson within these readings. The lesson within these channeled messages that are gems for all of us. And it will be detrimental to take these messages from the piles we choose to listen to and then dismiss everything else because it simply doesn't fall into the category of what pick a card means. Pick a card just means channeled message within the selection you've chosen. But those channeled messages don't mean jack shit if you don't know how to apply it, if you don't know how to understand it, if you can't comprehend it. It's like having like several pieces of the puzzle to the entire picture, right? And so today's channel messages is to sit down with all the puzzles we were given from all these pick a card readings, whether it be from my videos, other people's videos, personal readings you've had. And we're going to sit with those puzzles and finally take the time to put them together. You and I, okay? We're going to sit down and do some puzzling. We're going to have some puzzle moment here, but about self-love, okay? So you, as the student, don't be naughty. Sit and listen through this. It's good for you, okay? Eat your peas. And listen to what I have to say and what Spirit has to say. Why? Because I went through a lot of hardships so I could share it with you. Okay, now listen, let's get to it. I'm going to pull, I feel really compelled to pull a card from Romance Oracles, but before we start, I can feel already, I'm already starting to channel. Let me ground myself for a split second before I can be completely ready, okay? I don't want to get woo up there. Look at this candle. This candle is getting lit. Okay. Let me sit a little bit further. There you can see the little moon. Do you like the light? My amazing community from Twitch helped me fund this light, and now I'm finally able to use it again in a better setup. So I hope you guys enjoy. All of this won't be possible and hasn't been possible without you guys and being so supportive. So just want to give a little thank you. I love you guys. I love you guys. For those of you guys who are BB Gorilla, I love you guys. Okay. Spirit guides, universe, ancestors, and mine. My deities. I call for you guys to keep me protected during this time of reading. And only energies and entities and beings who are here for the best of my light, love and light, and highest growth of expansion for all of humanity's benefit. Only they are welcome. The rest you must leave. You are not welcome here. As for groundedness, deep focused. See if we could delve deeper into the topic of self-love today. Okay, I'm ready. I wanted to say that I had made statements in the previous videos that I will be posting up affiliate links from my Amazons for items that you guys are curious about, and I haven't had that probably synced up yet, but that's because my phone, I haven't been on an official phone plan, TMI maybe, but yeah, because of COVID, I've been indoors mostly, and there hasn't been a need for like a $60 monthly phone bill with like 1 gigabyte of data because I'm home all the time, right? And the current phone company I'm with, their cheapest phone plan doesn't include minutes on my phone, so I need to verification stuff on my phone with being able to receive messages, and I couldn't. So I'm in the process of that, so I apologize if you guys have been waiting. I am going to be receiving a new SIM card from my new phone company, and I'm going to switch over shortly after, and the links will be there, so just keep an eye out for it, okay? So let's see what my spirit guides have to say to us about self-love and how all the steps we can take and things we should be aware of when it comes to self-love and how to get there. Oh no, for some reason my camera, my DSLR has a tendency to stop recording, so I apologize. I'm just gonna keep the video in and replace it. If you see every now and then the video just stops, I am so sorry. I'm still learning and new to all this. I'm just gonna like add in some like new clip or something. I'm gonna add like a clip in between where it's like a hamster running on a wheel. It's just processing in between. The important part is the message, okay? It's not so important that you see me. It's more important that you get the message. Oh, my candle is like blowing like crazy from the draft. I'm just gonna move it closer to me. There. It's a little bit better. Oh, but you guys can't see. Some better. Oh, just move it here. There we go. There is actually not any wind, but it's blowing to the left, so I'm gonna have to look at candle reading to see what it means. Okay. Spirit guides, universe, answers the mind. What is the message about love we need to know about? Give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. And in this case, I think it has to do with us. So if there are times where we feel like the relationships we have with others around us are not really that great, or we're always asking ourselves like, why me? Like, why is this always happening to me? The reason why is because our external world is a direct reflection of our internal world. Okay, this doesn't apply for everybody. Like, we're talking about like second, third world country situations here, but in the first world country where we have freedom of speech, and for the most of us we have rights and we have a roof over our head, we have access. If you're watching this video right now, you're in a fortunate place, a much more fortunate place than most people. Some people don't even have access to internet where they live, right? So to those of you who are watching this video, this message is for you. Aside from the fact that you can fully access it, it's the fact that you are in that circumstance where it applies. The demographic I'm talking about. Hold on one second. I'm cold. I need a blankie. Okay. Give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. So yes, a lot of our relationships with people around us are often a direct reflection of the relationship we have within ourselves. Yes, sometimes there are a lot of times people seem to really treat us like shit, right? And they're like assholes. But the reason I believe, and Spirit says that they continue to stay in your life and they continue to treat you that way, is because you put up with it. We put up with it. We continue to cultivate and enable and foster these connections mostly in fear that we don't want to lose it, or we want to have the approval of the individual the relationship is attached to, in hopes that one day that them loving us or choosing to love us will mean that we can love ourselves. And saying it so outright and so directly might just not seem normal, or like when you think about it, like, no, that's not true. But on a subconscious level, this is most often the case. We always want to feel validation towards our own self-worth, and to know that we have the birthright to be happy and to be loved, as long as someone external to ourselves, like not just us, people around our lives, it's external, okay, that's the external, tells us that we are loved, or we are good enough, you know, they accept us, they are proud of us, they look up to us. And not everyone is born into a situation where they have parents or siblings or guardians who can have that sort of support. It could be due to their own, I want to say, malfunctions like patterns of unhealthy behavior, of ways of thinking and perceiving and acting, behaving. Like maybe some of them might be mentally unstable as well, or there's like dysfunctions and malfunctions in the way we carry ourselves forward to people around us, how we interpret and how we express and communicate our love. Sometimes it gets skewed. For instance, narcissism, right? That's something I want to talk about on a separate topic as well. I'm gonna write that down before I forget, because it has been weighing on my mind today. Oh, mind you, disclaimer, I forgot to say disclaimer. I am by no means any sort of replacement for a professional, someone who's a therapist, psychiatrist, doctor, everything within that umbrella. I'm here as a spiritual advisor and someone who loves to discuss and talk and shed more light about mental health and a lot about fashion. So I am here as an educational and entertainment purpose. And for any other concerns you might have about, don't self-diagnose, okay? Don't do any of that, anything drastic. All those things should be, you should go to your local professional, fill in the blank here. And if you are looking for a therapist or some sort of emotional crisis help as well, my website actually has, in the About Us category under resources, I have curated a whole entire list for those of you who know friends, families, loved ones, acquaintances, colleagues, co-workers, classmates who may be in distress or want someone to talk to. Even there is a place for that. But for my place, I just want to make it clear, my place in your life is to shed some light and to give you something to chew on, to reflect on, and to see things in a different way than you normally would. Okay, so let's go into give you, okay, yes, I was talking about narcissism. So like, for example, narcissism, right, from what I have learned about it and know about it, is that people with narcissism most oftentimes are born and raised with a guardian or a parent or a guardian that too has narcissistic tendencies. And they come from a place where that is how they perceive the world and how they handle their wounds, you know, and it's not necessarily the healthiest. I'm going to insert like a brief ding little tidbit here on what a narcissist is, because I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to say the wrong thing without reading into the technical, like, you know, definition of it and then like confuse you guys and myself. Okay, I won't confuse myself. I don't want to confuse you guys. So that's what narcissist is, right? And they come from a place where they don't feel enough. And the way they can find balance or seek some sort of stability, or seemingly like it looks like stability but it's not, is making it all about themselves, right? And you as an individual who, sorry, I thought my camera died or like stopped working. You as an individual who has been wanting attention and approval from this individual who might have narcissistic tendencies could never give you that. But it's not because anything to do with you, right? We have to realize and learn that somebody else's opinion and views on us does not ever at any given point reflect our own worth. Other people's opinion about our worth has no place in determining our worth itself. We ourselves, innately, with birthright, are worthy of love. We are love. We are created from love, the energy of love, of life. And we need to, it's time to acknowledge that, hon. It's time to realize that, and realize that people's inability to love us the way we need them to love us does not mean we're not lovable at all. At all. And their inability to love us doesn't mean, for some cases, their inability to love us doesn't mean that they don't love us. Sometimes they can't love us because they're too wounded. And in this case, I was talking about narcissism, right? Or other times, they do love us. They just don't love us the way we perceive love, which goes to the topic of love languages. And this is something I can also talk about as well. I'll get more into detail. I'm going to make a note. So, love languages, I have a little tidbit. Ding! You like my sound effects? This is what love language means, okay? And everyone loves and expresses love in a different way. And depending on how someone else shows the way they love, we might not necessarily feel like we're getting love because they're not giving us love the way we understand what love looks like. So in some ways it's kind of conditional, but at the same time it's kind of like, it's more like, I don't know, like nature versus nurture in this circumstance, you know, like it's what we're familiar with, it's what we understand love looks like. But sometimes if it's toxic, the way our love language is toxic, it's time for us to take accountability for that and to deprogram, uninstall, reboot, you know, like defrag, like get rid of that and realize that that type of love language is detrimental to not only just ourselves but to others around us. We're actually pushing away other people. Now that we're going to go back into full circle about narcissism, well, what about narcissists? If they realize they're narcissists, can they do something about it? From my current understanding, my limited understanding from the things I've watched about psychiatrists having discussions about it, I will link those in the bottom of the video below for you guys to do your own research. Some believe it's possible, but only to an extent that they can help themselves to reverse this, because it's like a very embedded part of who they are. Sometimes it's really hard, and most times it's really hard for us to change, let alone change someone else, right? To make change is like, it takes time, and for a narcissist just the same, right? And so it's not for us to say can they change or not, it's up to the individual, right? So there is possibilities, but it's not for us to sit there and wait for someone else to change in order to allow ourselves to feel loved and to feel happy and to feel acceptance and self-acceptance, right? We can't hold our own breath and wait for someone else to change and become better or be the person we would like them to be, or be the bigger person, or grow up, or to mature, or to become more self-aware, to become more spiritual, to realize our worth, to realize our beauty, to realize our kindness, and to realize how much value we bring to them in order for us to be happy, aka in order for us to love ourselves, in order for us to feel like it's okay to be who we are. Right? And I say that with like the most, girl, I've been there, boy, I've been there, man, woman, non-binary, a tech helicopter, I've been there, and I know what it's like to feel like maybe you met someone, You met someone who loved you the way you always wanted to be loved, and it was so good until it wasn't, right? Whether that means a year, 2 years, I don't know, like maybe 10 years, and then one day they just stopped loving you that way, and you become so depressed. Of course you would. It's understandable that you'd be heartbroken, right? But there's a shadow side to this, and the shadow side I want to ask you guys is, how much of that sadness is about the love between you two no longer existing in that way, like mourning the death of the love of the relationship that's changing, and how many of it is you feeling like you're grasping into rehab of wanting to feel that bliss of feeling perfect and feeling wanted and desired and beautiful and safe. That's a really good question, right? In my personal experiences, it's more often that we are mourning the aspect of no longer feeling good anymore, more than we're mourning the aspect of the death of that relationship. Because we found salvation in the acceptance of someone else, be it however temporary or how long it is. We learn to find salvation in others. And I think it's really important to begin learning how to, and to realize that we are capable of, and we're able to, and it's our birthright to love ourselves, and to feel safe within ourselves, and to trust ourselves, and to desire ourselves, to feel beautiful about ourselves. Think of it this way. I got a question for you, okay? Before I continue to flip another card, because this card really started off a really great conversation. I thank you, Spirit. Just picture them like, and they're like, sips their Starbucks coffee. Just drinking water. Oh my God, did I lose my train of thought? Right. When you were young, when you were a kid, okay, when you were a wee lad, okay, like as far back as you can remember, did you ever think about, oh, I'm ugly, oh, I'm skinny, oh, I'm fat, oh, I'm too wide, oh, I'm too slender, I'm too tall, I'm too short, I'm too dark, I'm too light, I'm too this, I'm too that? Polarity. Did you ever think that? Or you're like, heck yeah, I woke up and I'm gonna make some snowballs, to the parts of the countries where you guys live that have snow. Or I wake up and I'm gonna have a lemonade stand and I'm gonna sell lemonades to everybody. Did you wake up and you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna go play with my dog, if you have dogs. I'm gonna go play with my kitty. I'm gonna go hang out with my parents. I'm gonna go hang out with my friends. I'm gonna have a sleepover. Oh my God, we're gonna have a sticker trading party. Or I'm gonna watch cartoon on, like, I don't know, like Christmas Eve. When you were young, did you ever once stop and look at yourself in the mirror and thought, oh my God, that's disgusting. Ew, what's with, like, why is my nose like that? Ew, like, why is my eyes like that shape? Or why is my mouth and teeth like that? Like, no, you just looked at yourself in the mirror and you're like, wow, so this is what a human looks like. This is what a face looks like. This is what a nose looks like. This is what my nose looks like. This is what my eyes look like. This is what my teeth look like. My mouth looks like. And sometimes you pinch your face, right? And you're like, wow, I feel this. You try to look at your hands and you're like, where do I end and the rest of the world begin? Like, in cartoons, have you guys ever thought this? In cartoons, there's always outlines for everything, right? You're like, how come I don't have an outline? Where does my outline go? You stare and you think. You're just in awe and wonder. You're just in wonder about your existence. You're just amazed that you're alive. You're just, whoa, air feels weird. Where does it go? It goes inside me. I could feel the cold air going inside and going out. What is this? It's air. Like, why? You know, we're just full of curiosity. We don't discriminate. We just want to know more. We just want to explore. We just want to embrace and accept everything there is about ourselves. And then it goes on to our friends as well. They're like, whoa. And you look at their hand and you see their skin color is different than yours. Feels different. Maybe their nose is different. And you guys are laughing because noses look kind of funny, don't they? Like, why do we have 2 holes in our face? And then we also have 2 holes, but they're filled with these roly-poly things. And then we have one hole here with like a tongue. You know what I mean? Like, it isn't until we hit a certain age and people around us go, oh, don't keep eating like that, or you're gonna get like that. Oh, you should eat more because you're too this. Or you meet a classmate or a teacher, and then they say, how can your mom let you eat like that? No wonder you're blank. Or your classmates are like, oh my god, da 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 da, you look funny. Because their parents, TV, someone external to them, introduced that idea into their mind and made them think, oh wait, there's a possibility that there's something wrong with me. Think about that. We have taken on years and years and years of other people's projection onto us. They're throwing their paint on our canvas, throwing what they think we should be, how we shouldn't be, like what we should feel bad about ourselves, what we should feel good about ourselves. And our canvas is just so full of other people's opinions and views and perspectives and acceptance or rejections about us, that we spend our waking lives not thinking about truly how we feel about ourselves, but rather worrying about how other people will perceive us, so we can do our best to be perfect. We could do our best to do everything we possibly can to look like this ideal image or way of presenting ourselves or carrying ourselves, or how we speak, how we talk, how we act in a way that makes sense. But I'm here to tell you, my dears, it's not supposed to make sense. Humans don't make sense. We're here figuring it out just like the next person, except the other person has a freaking mask on, is doing a hell of a lot better job pretending that they understand and they got it all together. They don't. And I'll tell you something too. Okay? I'll tell you something here too. As a spiritual advisor, I'll let you know, not every spirit guide, ancestor, entity being that crosses your path, not all of them know the answer to everything either. They're just like us. Whatever experience, wisdom, and knowledge they've gained within their lifetimes, that's what they take with them. And they're still learning. They're just existing in another form. And they're relaying onto you, if they're willing to, and you're willing to, what they know. That's it. We're all trying to figure this all together. Even spirits from the other side are still growing and learning. They're growing and learning as I'm channeling. When you're like, well, what do you mean? But you're channeling through them. Not all of them. Think of it like a seminar. I have a very wise guide channeling through me. And then maybe a younger guide or a less educated guide about this sector sits down and decides to listen to the TED Talk too, you know? So don't be so hard on yourself, because we're all just trying to figure it out together, and it's okay. It's okay to be imperfect. It's what makes us human. What are we trying to aspire for? To be a fucking robot? we trying to be a statue here? Are we trying to be like a cookie cutter? Or we're trying to, like, I don't know, what are we doing? Who are we imitating after? Who are we mimicking after? What is this so-called perfection that we're looking at? When you think about it, what does perfection look like? Perfection looks different in every part of the world. Have you guys ever seen the documentary about the definition of beauty? How every country edits a photo of the same woman, of what they think is beautiful in their country, and all of it turns out different? No person's perception of beauty and perfection is the same. So why are we constantly jumping on this hamster wheel, chasing after something that's so elusive? No wonder it's going to drive you fucking crazy. No wonder there are people going postal. No wonder there are people having quarter-life crises. No wonder there's people having like full-on near-life crises, or at the deathbed regretting. Yeah, I said it. There's lots of people at their deathbed who regrets the things they've done, and they wish they were more honest with themselves and with other people. That's like, there's actually a book about this. And before I even knew about this book, I actually met a doctor during my retail years, and she told me she was a full-time doctor, and she was a doctor for like helping people with cancer patients, and doing surgery and everything related to cancer, specialized, okay? And she realized every patient she lost, they all told her the same thing, and she took it to heart and decided to do it herself, which is to enjoy her life and not to work so hard, even though she wants to save people. But her own life matters too. Her own feelings matter too. Her ability to go and be honest with who she is and what she really wants, and how she wants to be honest with others as well. She took that upon herself, and she shared that with me. And she said, it's really great that I was defying the norms of what other people usually accept. And most people realize that too late, right? Literally too late. So I'm here to tell you today, honey, if nobody has said it to you, you're perfect. You're perfect in your own way, because there's no such thing as universal perfection. Okay, yeah, we're talking about the fucking, what is it? Sacred geometry and all that. Oh, beauty is in geometry. Okay, yeah, maybe. Okay, that's one form of beauty. That's one type of aesthetic. But there's beauty in all forms. There's beauty everywhere, and you need to expand your mind of what you know and understand about beauty. Your perspective on what beauty and love and self-acceptance and what looks good on the inside and what looks good on the outside is all conditioned from the world around you, and they all told you what is right and what is wrong, what is good, what is bad, for consumer reasons. If you didn't think there was something wrong with you, would you go around and looking for a solution? No. But because you want to look for the solution, they sell you the solution too, just as much as they sell you the problem, or they give you the problem, right? They imply and they make you think maybe there is a problem, and they give you a solution. So first, you let them take away your power for your own validation, your power for your own belief in yourself, your power for your own strength and ability to see beauty in and outside of yourself, your existence, your value, your worth, who you are as a whole. You gave that away. You let them take it. And then, not only did you give them something that couldn't be seen, that can't be seen, you gave them something unseen, a part of you. You gave a part of you. They took a part of you. And now you're going to give them your money. You're going to give them your physical belongings, the things you worked and earned hard for. So they took twice. But you walk away feeling more content and happy. Or so you think. But that's all conditional and temporarily, right? All temporary. Why? Why do I say that? Let's give a good example here, okay? You ever like You know about something called retail therapy? You go because you feel like shit. And you buy stuff and it feels so good. Everything's brand new. You feel like you're treating yourself and you're giving your things. Yes, to some extent it's very important. But let's just say you buy all these things. You're surrounded by all these things. They're shiny object syndrome. And you're using it, you're enjoying it, you're enjoying the experience. Wow, it's so great. It makes you feel better. Oh, it makes you feel whatever, healthier, happier. I don't know, more satisfied with yourself. It makes you feel like, I don't know, like you're able to withstand yourself a little bit longer. And then when that wears off, you feel bad again. Right? That is a form of programming. Another example is when we have holidays, we feel this obligation to give physical objects to show someone that we love them. And if we don't, we should be disgraced. But if we go and give physical objects, which means we have to go buy it, which means we have to spend our hard-earned money to buy these objects to give to other people just to show our love, just to validate and prove our love, because that's a social norm. And then who gets the money? You see where I'm coming from that? Okay, so I'm gonna shuffle one more card. I think we're pretty good about the channeled messages, I think. Spirit, do you have any more last thing before we go into the pick a card section aspect of self-love? Express your love, right? So I told you about self-love and how we are so good at not doing it, and how we basically, I spent the past 40 something minutes showing you how we were taught to not love ourselves, how we were taught to sacrifice who we were and to give away our relationship with ourselves to someone else to hold and determine and tell us, is it good enough or not good enough? And we are forever chasing this uphill battle of an elusive seeming goal to get love, when love was always within ourselves. So the second lesson of how you can self-love, because now you know how to identify how much you have either been loving yourself, or how little you have been loving yourself, and the ways you were not loving yourself, and the ways you stopped loving yourself or had forgotten to love yourself. We're going into how we can integrate and begin to love ourselves, the process of loving ourselves. So the card we got is express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So when I first got into the practice of self-love, I thought I had to go and I don't know, I didn't know how to do it. It felt weird, you know? So I would look at myself in the mirror and be like, hey you, I love you. And it was the most alienating, cringeworthy, awkward, feeling crazy and stupid moment of my life. And yeah, I know that sometimes people say affirmation. If you keep saying it, you're gonna believe it eventually. Yes, you do. But it only works when you're saying an affirmation that really speaks to who you are, right? Don't just choose any copy and paste affirmation. Select an affirmation that makes you feel good. For instance, for me, today I discovered a song. I'm going to insert the title here. Dong! This song is a self-affirmation, a positive self-affirmation to me. And you may use it to your liking as well, to cultivate those good vibes of what you believe you're really worth, who you are about, and what you represent to the world, right? Self-love, express your self-love. So what I do, okay, I'll tell you a few tips. If this is something you guys really like and enjoy, I will be more than happy to do another video about self-love, maybe into more like tips like things, like not just, I don't know, I'll talk more about it, okay? So I started realizing self-love doesn't mean saying nice things to yourself, although that's part of it. That's like the cherry on top. Self-love has to do with respecting and honoring and tuning into how you feel, both on an emotional level, a psychological level, like mentally, like logical level, and your physical state. If you feel tired, you have to honor that and find a way to self-soothe, do things that your body needs. So let's just say you're tired, you've been up for 3 hours, but for whatever reason you're neglecting yourself, you're not going to go sleep, instead you're going to go out and hang out with your friends. This is pre-COVID, mind you, you're going to go out with your friends because they say so, but you feel like shit, like you're tired, you feel like vomiting because of how exhausted you are. So instead you drink more coffee, you drink more whatever to keep yourself awake. I've done that. That's when you are not creating good boundaries, strong boundaries about yourself. I need to make a video about that, boundaries. Right? When you don't have strong boundaries with the type of tone of friendship you set, the type of relationship and the relationship dynamic you set with others around you and yourself, when you are not clear with the boundaries and the type of tone and dynamic you have with your relationship with others, like friends, family, loved ones, and yourself, and you don't make a clear distinction of what they should or should not expect of you, chances are you're going to abuse yourself. You're going to take advantage of yourself, give more than you're able to, and deplete what you have. And you're going to come to resent yourself, whether or not you realize it, and respect yourself less and feel unworthy because you yourself are not treating yourself right. How do you expect anyone else to treat you better? Right? You probably think, oh, like, they watch out for me, they tell me when to eat, they tell me I should go sleep. I want someone to tell me those things. Yeah, sure, great. But like, do you always need to be babysit? Like, why can't you babysit yourself? Why? Do you hate yourself that much that you need someone else to do it for you? Like, are you like, I don't want to say lazy, but in a way, yeah. Like, are you not wanting to take accountability for your own happiness? Because no one's ever going to be able to keep you happy as long as you can keep yourself happy. That's the truth. Isn't it? It's like selfish. It's selfish. We were taught to be selfish, to rely on other people to be happy, to be healthy and happy, when we can take the accountability and recognize where we can step in and do our part for ourselves. And in turn, when you do that and you honor yourself, other people take after you. You set an example involuntarily. You set an example of how you are living your best life. And they see how good you feel. They want to feel good too. We all want to feel good. That's why we do half the things, 90% of the things we do, because we want to feel good. So listen to your body, your emotional state. Pay attention to how you feel when other people are talking to you. Do you like how they're treating you? Do you like how they're talking to you? Do you like how they make you feel? Right? This is making it very simple. But sometimes you have to pay attention to, maybe perhaps you might be perceiving things that aren't really happening because your own past traumas and your wounds and your triggers. But sometimes other people are just not holding space for you. Why is it a surprise? It's not a surprise. People actually don't hold space. What does holding space mean? Holding space means someone is able to accept you and receive you for who you are and what you have to say without judgment. They're simply just accepting you for who you are and taking you for you are. Come as you are. And having no prejudice as to, oh, you're so stupid, or you're so weird, or you're like this, or you're like that. Like, they don't have any of those opinions. They're just literally observing you, and they're receiving you and witnessing you fully for who you are, and being totally okay with that, right? How can other people do that when you first don't know how to do that for yourself? You have to respect yourself, believe in yourself, and have faith in yourself to that extent. Of course, it takes time. That's going to take time. But when you start beginning to recognize how that feels, how good it feels to love yourself, like, and respect yourself, like when you don't feel good and someone's not celebrating you the way you celebrate yourself, and you know to walk away, you'll realize, wow, I could have been feeling this great for this whole time, for so long, but I never did it, right? The moment you're able to realize how good it feels to respect yourself, you won't stand for anything less, because you can acknowledge when someone is disrespecting you, because you first set the example on how to respect yourself, right? But yeah, so let's go into the pick a card reading. I believe that is a good channel message. Let's go and have you guys choose piles. All right, so we have now entered the pick a pile aspect of the video. I'm going to feel compelled to choose Rumi Oracle today. I think the messages within itself will be very useful for you, because the first half of the channel message of the video was already very practical and had a lot enough to say about self-love to begin with. So I think these are going to be really good affirmations and reinforcement of the type of self-love you should have for yourself. By the way, if you are enjoying what you're watching right now, feel free to give a like to the video. If you like my vibe, be sure to subscribe, and be sure to leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I would absolutely love to have your feedback and hear more about what you want to see, what you liked about this video, what you didn't like about this video, what you wish there were more of. I would be honored to hear. Even if you didn't like it, I like to hear why you didn't like it either, so I can make it better, because all of this is for you guys. I want you guys to, whoever needs to hear this out there can hear it, you know, because when I was young and growing up, a lot of these things I didn't have anyone to talk to about. I just had to learn the hard way myself. So yeah. Alright, so I'm going to choose 2 piles. Spirit guides, universe, ancestors of mine. We're going to do 2 piles of self-love. What is the first pile? Okay, so what is the second pile? Oh, too many piles. I meant too many cards. What's the second pile? Okay. So the first pile is Layla, number 34. I don't think I've really read her card before. The second pile is 35. I just got goosebumps. Oh my god, I'm getting goosebumps. I was getting goosebumps when I was looking at 34 for some reason, and that confirmed it. 35, the lover and the beloved. I'm getting goosebumps right now. Okay, 34 and 35, guys. 34 is pile 1. 35 is pile 2. I don't know if you guys can see. Pile 1, called Layla. probably take pictures of it and I'll put it right here. Boom. Pile 1. Pile 2. Boom. Don't have to worry about DMC it. Make your own sound effects. This is pile 2. I don't know why I keep putting it up close to you, like if you guys can see it up there. Here, pile 2. I'm not going to channel messages for these because I already channeled for like a whole hour, so I'm just going to read these, and the messages itself, trust me, will be more than powerful, okay? Alright, so for those of you who have chosen pile 1, number 34, Layla, I'm going to read it, okay? My video is going to end soon. I'm going to have to restart in a minute. Alright, pile 1. Put aside your clever schemes, O lover. Be mindless. Become mad. Dive into the heart of the flame. Become fearless. Be like a moth. Turn away from the self and tear down the house. Then come and dwell in the house of love. Be a lover. Live with lovers. Clean your chest from all hostility. Wash it 7 times. Then fill it with the wine of love. Be a chalice for love. Be a chalice. You must be all love to be worthy of the beloved. Then go into the gathering of drunks. Be a drunk. Become drunk. Your thought takes a course, dragging you in its wake. Move beyond thought. Let your heart lead. Be the leader. When the grace of love is revealed, be a mirror to reflect it. When the beloved's hair is loosened, brush it like a comb. Be a comb, Rumi. How I long for my thoughts to no longer make any sense to me. Then I can be rid of them, like noisy house guests who have overstayed their welcome. And I'm saying this as children are screaming next door. The timing. Oh, the peace when they finally go. Their incessant chatter brings me no comfort. I crave the silence of you. Will you let me hear it? Will you run through the noisy house of my mind with your great muddy feet, so that I can focus on something other than my mind for a while? Maybe you can make such a mess that I shall give up my plans and attempt at order completely. Just give in for a change. It's time for that. To give up my ridiculous fantasies of perfection. Useless, noisy, irritating, demanding, and yet deadening perfection. I'd rather just be alive. I want to plant my head in the earth, in the same mud that sticks to your feet, and breathe in her rich soil smell. I want to feel her heart breathing in the quiet moments of the roots of the plants as they stretch and grab and stop my ears with her fertile dirt, finally gaining peace from the constant infernal racket of thoughts no longer wanted. Oh, beloved, how you are to be envied. You are being given the gift of no self, no noise, no sense. The great beloved truly wants you to be closer than ever to the wild universal heart. In that field of love, every electronic device goes haywire, system collapse, worlds collide, and great stars are born from the chaos. But the real you will sense none of this. You'll be staring at your beloved, so intoxicated by love. Your tongue will loll out of your mouth and you'll drool like a bloodhound, and you won't care a hoot. Neither will the great beloved. Such will the passion of your reunion be, that the only thing to matter will be the one great love exploding inside your being. So who cares if you had no idea what day it is? What was your job supposed to be again? Or how to make conversation, let alone intelligent conversation, at the dinner table? Well, you should not be yourself anymore. You should not be so appropriate or sociable. What did I say? I was channeling all this. Who understands crazy words that fall out of your mouth, unchecked by logic or rationality? I do. I know the beloved too. I am under that same loving spell. I, like you, have no I anymore. I, like you, long for my night of love with the great beloved, that ends me forever or renders me only and ever the lover of the great beloved. I call that night forward from my love-crazed heart, as do you, that Laylat al-Qadr. I'm going to type it out. Laylatal-Qadr. The night of destiny. Let us run together and pound on the bedroom door of the great beloved. There is no shame. There is nothing else worth holding on to. Let us go now and throw ourselves upon the goodwill of the Creator. Our hair shall be messy. That's why I didn't curl or straighten my hair today. Just let it air dry and be the way it is. I just accepted it. I just wild and unruly. Our hair shall be messy and mingle with the curving galaxy, and the planets shall grow rings around them, becoming the many eyes of the great beloved, delightfully bearing witness to our loving, passionate surrender. This oracle brings you a message. You are moving through a period of not knowing, of time in the great void, or womb of the Divine Mother. It is in this place the seed can crack open and take root. This cannot happen in the light, where all is seen and recognized. It must happen under the cover of darkness, where only trust can assure of one of success. This is the way of nature, the way of life, and it must be honored. This oracle brings you ancient wisdom. It guides you not to fear the darkness, but to enter into it willingly. It is not for you to become lost, but to find your way. This oracle is saying that in the darkness, there is the path. Da tariki tarakat. Don't. Do not turn away from it. Let it be. Be with the lack of knowing. When people ask you so many questions and demand sensible answers to support their notion of reality, do not bow to such unworthiness and fear. Know that their minds may be fearful of for your safety and their own, lest your divine madness be contagious, but that their fear is nothing to you, nothing at all. It is not even anything to them, but they just don't know that yet. Under the sacred black cloak of night, the Divine Mother, the Goddess, who transfigures from darkness into the light, has invited you into her chamber. In that place you shall experience annihilation, but only that of which is untrue, that of which would hold you back, dampen your spirit, or prevent you from bursting into full aliveness. For that which is true is already seated deep in her womb and is preparing to be born, strong and good, and with good, powerful legs. So when it is time, it will leap like a wild creature, all instinct and intuition into the morning light. For this moment, however, there is darkness, and that is essential for the appearance so eminent, beloved, of the light on its way. This oracle brings you guidance. If you find yourself to be sad, to be grieving, whether you know for what or not, or even depressed or struggling, feeling as though you're being pulled down, do not fight. Bear witness instead, holding space, remember? You shall find a joy in allowing the interplay of darkness and light to take place according to a greater unfolding rhythm of your own divine growth process. So we're about to do a sacred honoring ritual. You are more than welcome to just listen and observe if you're not comfortable, or you can, if you feel silly doing it, you could just listen and hold the intention, or you could follow along as I say, okay? Sit in a dark and quiet space if possible. Say aloud, I honor the darkness that serves the all-loving light. Through the grace of Rumi and the Divine Mother, I am blessed with growth of my soul into life. Even within the darkness of dark places, the Divine Beloved dwells with unfailing generosity and compassion. In my surrender I am held, and in my darkness the seed of new life takes root. So be it. Rest for as long as feels good. You have completed your honoring ritual. So in this case, they didn't have require for you to do any bowing or holding out your hand, but you could definitely repeat that after me and replay that video however many times as you would like, and say it out loud as if it's an affirmation. Because, my dear, it is. So we're going to move on to the second pile for those of you who chose pile number 35. Okay. We're going to begin. Let me reach you some water first. Those of you who have chosen number 35, the title is called The Lover and the Beloved. When you move beyond consciousness, you caress the beloved. When you move into the unknown, beyond everything, the beloved caresses you. Rumi. It is not enough to love me. I want you to allow me to love you. It is not enough to desire me, to want to be closer to me. I want to reach out to you and grab a hold of you, drawing you into me and never letting you be apart from me again. There is so much more for us to experience, you and me, than simply gazing, even with love, at each other from a distance. Let me take you into my arms. Let me hold you until we cease to know or care where you and I once were you and I, for instead we will be one. Will you allow it? Will you allow me? Will you allow us to be? Oh, sweet beloved, the divine, the great beloved has a passionate desire for you, to love you, to touch you, to make the divine presence known to you, so that you will cease to fear the darkness, take delight in all of life, and become mesmerized by the beauty of love and its endless emanations. But how we resist love at first. Oh yes, we have been burned before, have we not? Abandoned, betrayed, so painfully disappointed, cast aside, and have suffered at the hands of some unworthy lover. Can this great divine love affair be tarred with the same brush, with the same bitter expectations that keep the heart closed? You are too beautiful to be hidden away behind a bitter and gated heart. That is unworthy of you. So then, can you allow the great beloved to reach for you, to receive that sacred touch every day, to be spoken to with words of love, to receive? You who give of yourself, can you recognize the beloved wishes to give to you too? These need not to be mutually exclusive happenings. Come now. Deep down, you know the genius of the divine is such that in being received, much is given. You shall not be selfish in letting yourself be seen and loved. Allow it. Rejoice in it. Take delight in allowing yourself to receive life. And let the world soak up the ardent glow of your sensual surrender into the great beloved's embrace. This oracle brings you a message. Something has to change in your physical world. You are in need of more sustenance, more love, more connection, and more nourishment that touches your body and soul and brings them into deeper oneness with each other, with life, with love. Dare you open up and allow all that love in? The great beloved has desired that this be so. Will you heed that holy desire? Will you allow love in? Say yes. If you find this difficult, now is the time to gently, carefully tend to the walls you once played between yourself and life. Walls of tentativeness, excessive caution, fear of abandonment and betrayal, doubt of your own lovableness, and doubts based on past pain without substance. You are so much greater than these crumbling walls. They are the stuff that is designed for demolition, not devotion and honoring. Can you begin to unpack the bricks you mistakenly believed were essential to your safety and well-being? You are too fast to see for that small puddle of thought now. The oceanic world of love is your true home, and the sun is beating down upon you. It is too hot to gaze at the ocean longingly from afar, or even stand by its edge. Strip off your layers, run to the ocean and dive in. This oracle brings you special guidance. An offer or opportunity is on its way to you, or has recently been presented. It may be an idea you have been nurturing, or one presented to you by another person. Sit with it. Do you feel exhilaration? Do you feel energy at the thought of saying yes? Then say yes. Allow yourself to receive. There is divine encouragement in taking risks that feel wild and alive to your heart. Now we're going to go on to the sacred honoring ritual, okay? Place your hands in prayer and say, so we're going to put our hands in prayer like this. May the Almighty divine love and my most beloved brother Rumi bless me with the ability to truly receive in all ways divine abundance and prosperity being delivered to me now by the grace and mercy of the heavens. May I clear and heal any resistance to receiving life truly, that I may attain my divine destiny and know and receive love truly in all its majesty. So be it. You can rest for as long as feels good. Then you have finished your honoring ritual. So those are really powerful messages that we just read. 34 and 35. What are the chances they were like one after another? 34, 4 plus 3 is 7. That apparently is a very spiritual number. And I believe number 7 for angel numbers, which you can find if you guys are curious about angel number, it's also in the resources section it's about us, resources, and then spiritual tools. Okay, there's an angel numbers link that I've shared there for you guys to see. If you guys see recurring numbers, you can also find there what each number means. So angel number 7, from what I remember, is a confirmation that we're on the right path. We're doing the right thing for our highest growth and being, and our guides are encouraging us to continue. And for 35, 5 plus 3 is 8, right? 8 is a number of infinity, abundance. So that makes sense, because this is almost like learning to love yourself and going through the dark night of the soul, so to speak. And for those of you who are not sure what the dark night of the soul means, it means a period of when we go into gestation, into the unknown of questioning everything we know about ourselves and others, and we're like, it's almost like an unlearning and unfolding and like breaking down of all our former beliefs and restructuring how we see the world all over again once we come out to the other end. And it may last for years. It's a process of growth, about discovering ourselves and facing the darkest shadows and darkest aspects of ourselves, the most painful parts about ourselves that we have a hard time acknowledging, and doing the actual work. So that's what shadow work is, right? And so 35, so this is shadow work. 34 is shadow work. 35 is like coming out the other end and receiving the abundance, which is 8, right? Oh, that was amazing. I think that is all I'll be doing today. I was gonna do a second recording for you guys in a row, but this has been quite of a long reading, unexpectedly, but very much needed, and someone needed to hear that, so I'm really glad I'm able to just do it and be the vessel for my ancestors and spirit guides and deities to relay these messages for you guys, and to even have the honor to share my experiences with you guys as well. But if you guys like my vibe and want to subscribe, you want to see more of me, and you want to see more future videos like this, hit that bell notification. And just remember, I love you. Even that, it doesn't even matter. You have the ability to love yourself, okay? Me loving you is just the cherry on top. But thank you so much once again for watching this video. Oh, yes. Thank you so much for watching this video, for spending your time with me, and allowing me to tap into your energy, as well as to speak to spirit guides, universe, ancestors, deities, to share this message of self-love for you all. Love you guys. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.